Well, I grew up watching James Bond movies. I don't know if y'all remember when they were like the ABC Sunday night movie. We'd watch all the James Bond movies. A couple of them I saw in theaters. And that was really my first introduction to some of the wonderful places in Europe. Another introduction to some beautiful places in Europe is the TV show Game of Thrones. We had a cruise to Iceland and Ireland booked for a large group in 2019. And we had never watched Game of Thrones, but I was like, the scenery is really cool. Maybe we should start watching it because so much of it was filmed in Iceland and Ireland. So there's so many beautiful locations that are real places that you can visit in Europe that were Game of Thrones filming locations. And another reason why you would want to go to Europe, if you ever took Western civilization or world history, you studied all about these different societies and empires that were part of the European theater. I have a map of the Greek Empire, which I hadn't looked at in a long time. I didn't realize that it went so far into the Middle East. I have a map of the Roman Empire, and then a map of Europe in the Middle Ages. There's so much history in Europe. It's really quite incredible. And if you are a foodie, I mean, one of the things that makes our culture in America so rich is that we have so many immigrants from different parts of Europe who brought their food and their unique cooking style. And what better way to celebrate that than to visit some of these places that were these folks' home country and trying some of the wonderful food. Greek food, Spanish food, Turkish food, French food, and Italian food are some of my favorite cuisines that come from Europe. So I'm Suzanne Clausen. I am an independent vacation specialist. I own a CruiseOne franchise, and I like to say that I provide vacation planning as attentive and personalized as the vacation itself. CruiseOne is a WTH company, World Travel Holdings, and we are the #1 retailer of cruises in North America. Here's a little timeline. I like people to know like where I came from. So we are currently next month going to be celebrating our 10-year anniversary in business. I opened my franchise when I lived down in Sonoyta, Arizona, and we relocated to California for a little while. But in 2019, our organization awarded me the Opal Award, which is our award for our outstanding female franchise owner when it comes to being tops in sales and tops in community service. So it's a little bit combination of sales leadership and community service. So I received that award. Then 2020 happened. So I decided I was going to try to make a positive out of the little bit of downtime I had in 2020 and 2021 when I wasn't rescheduling people's bookings. I wasn't getting calls for new bookings. So I used that time to earn my Master Cruise Counselor certification from Cruise Line International Association. And in 2022, I'm proud to say that I am in the top 2% of all of our CruiseOne Dream Vacation franchises nationwide, and we have over 1,600 franchises nationwide.
Wow.
Since August of last year, my husband and I have taken 10 cruises, and we have 7 more scheduled this year. We believe in the product, so that's all I have to say. We love traveling, and we love going with our groups or helping our clients plan their own individualized vacations. I have been traveling for 47 plus years. I didn't go to Europe until I was in college, and I was 21 my first trip to Europe. But I've been to 34 cruises. I've been to all 7 continents and 39 countries and counting. And in a couple months, those numbers are going to jump way up because of the trips that we have planned that are to some new places I've never been. So I would love to have the honor of being your travel agent. If you are working with me, you are going to be able to take advantage of my years of expertise, my dedication to my clients, my responsiveness, and really the ease that I make booking and planning your cruise by working through me. So why celebrity cruises? This event is focused mostly on celebrity cruises and their European product for next year. We talked a little bit at the beginning, like why you would want to go to Europe to see all these fantastic locations and all the history that's there. But why would you want to do it with celebrity cruises when you have so many choices? Well, one of the reasons is that Celebrity is really top notch in the premium field of cruise lines. In just the last 2 years, they have won over 235 industry awards. These are not awards that I gave them. These are awards that the industry gave them. And they have one of the highest satisfaction ratings in all the cruise lines.
Celebrity Millennium, best refurbished ship.
I believe it.
Nice.
All right, let me go to my next slide. It's not, it's, there we go.
April.
Oh, okay.
I just want to stop for a second. Were y'all hearing the music? I think when I did my share screen, I forgot to, yeah, I need to fix the share screen button. So share screen, I need to hit the sound share and the optimize for video. So fix that. Let me go back to the beginning of the video. There we go. All right, from the beginning. So that was the brand new Celebrity Beyond cruise ship. Captain Kate took the helm of that cruise ship in April of this year. In May, we were lucky enough to be in port next to it. We were on the Celebrity Constellation, and the Beyond was right next to it. You'll see some pictures of that. But Captain Kate McHugh is the captain of the Beyond,
Wow.
and she is the first American female captain to captain a large cruise ship.
That's amazing.
Since she started as their first American female captain, they have added 2 more female captains in their fleet. And Celebrity made sure that they were not just socially promoting these ladies. Captain Kate is a graduate of the Maritime Academy and has worked her way up through the ranks as a cruise ship officer.
Good for her.
And she's quite the celebrity too. She has a wonderful following on Instagram, and that is Bug. Bug is her hairless cat, and she has an Instagram page for him called Bug Naked. So it's quite cute. Bug Naked. So what is Celebrity all about? It is about new luxury. And sometimes when we hear the term luxury, we're thinking, oh, it's stuffy and overly ornate, and it's like being in an old stuffy old world castle. But Celebrity is really about being modern in their approach to their design and the way that they create their cruise experience, but still providing those luxury touches that make you feel pampered and provide you that extra service that makes your cruise vacation meaningful and relaxing. A couple of things that Celebrity focuses on is destination enrichment. They want to make sure when you go on their cruise that you're just not seeing the world from the deck of the ship, that you are actually learning about the places that you're visiting and really getting that full experience. The design details you saw in that little preview video, the designers that they have on their team, including Kelly Hoppen and Nate Berkus. And if we watch HGTV, we know Nate Berkus from that. He's a wonderful designer. And Celebrity has unrivaled services. As a matter of fact, all of their hotel staff, their dining and their custodians, that's not the right word, housekeeping staff, are all trained by Forbes Magazine's Institute that trains people in customer service and hospitality. So they have a really, really high level of training to be able to work on the Celebrity cruise ships. Culinary adventure. No matter where you are dining on Celebrity, you will have these wonderful dishes from around the world. It's not the same old, same old. And then they also have wellness woven in. If I really want to treat myself on a Celebrity cruise, a couple days in, I will go and have a massage. And I usually find that the relief that I have from that massage lasts for me for about 2 or 3 months. And I tend to get a lot of muscle tension headaches, that kind of thing. So, every time I go on a cruise, I get a massage and then I'm good for a couple months. Let's talk about the design innovation that Celebrity has on their 3 Edge class ships. And that is going to be the infinite veranda.
We've replaced all of this structure with essentially nothing.
This engineering feat allowed for the creation of the new Edge staterooms with infinite veranda that are 23% larger than Celebrity's current veranda staterooms.
What I wanted to achieve here was to try and create lots of different experiences. I think in the Edge stateroom, when you walk in, you're going to know there's a difference. And for me, it was about coming up with sort of light bulb moment of creating the studio so that you could have these kind of glass partition doors that opened where you could actually then have your terrace as part of your living space. I think we created something unique in the cruise industry.
So those cabins are available on the Edge, the Apex, and the Beyond. And here's a look at what those rooms look like. The floor plan, you can see that the bathroom is spacious. I believe the bathroom is an additional 23% larger than their bathrooms on their Solstice class ships. And 285 square feet of indoor-outdoor living space. There is no other cruise line that in this premium category offers such spacious cabins to their guests in a standard balcony. They also have solo infinite veranda cabins. These cabins are designed and priced for the solo traveler. They have quite a few of them on the ship. So if you are a solo traveler or you know someone who is a solo traveler and they said, well, I'd love to cruise, but I don't want to pay double. This is a perfect example of the kind of innovations that Celebrity has made in order to be able to welcome everyone on their cruise ships. And are you interested in a suite? This is the entry-level suite. Of course, in that video, we saw that 2-story suite with the beautiful plunge pool. All the suites come with a lot of extra amenities on Celebrity. So it's not just about the extra square footage. You also get an extra $300 per person of onboard credit. You get free access to the premium Wi-Fi, the premium beverage package. You get dining in the Lumine dining room for all suite class guests. And it's not on the slide, but if you are in a Royal Suite or higher on Celebrity, you have unlimited specialty dining with them. So lots of great amenities. They also have a retreat lounge and a retreat sun deck pool area that is exclusively for guests in the retreat area of the ships. So our next slide is going to talk about the culinary programs on Celebrity. You can see that Celebrity has truly raised the bar as to what a premium cruise experience can be. Move to our next slide. This is the same one. Somehow that slide got duplicated, so I'm skipping to the next slide. The 4 main dining rooms on Celebrity Edge class ships. So they have Tuscan, which is Italian themed, Cyprus, which is Greek themed, which pays homage to many of their Greek captains that they have on Celebrity. The Normandy, which is a French themed restaurant, and the Cosmopolitan, which is an American themed restaurant. You can choose to dine with the flexible dining and dine in a different restaurant every, rotate your restaurants around. But a lot of people like to have on a cruise experience that same table, same waiter every night. And if you do that, you still have the opportunity to dine off the other menus. They're not completely restricting you. You just have to make a special request. When you receive your menu every night, no matter which restaurant that you were in, there will be one side that rotates every night. It's the same menu in each of the 4 restaurants on that side of the menu, and it changes daily. So every day you have a different selection on that side of the menu. On the opposite side of the menu, it is their themed dishes. So your Greek inspired, your Tuscan Italian inspired on the other side. And those stay the same in that menu every night. So you have lots of different options. And again, if you want to try the Greek food and you're in the Tuscan restaurant, you just need to maybe the night before arrange it with your maitre d' so that they can arrange to bring you that side of the menu and have something different for you to choose from. Specialty dining. So on the Beyond, they have the very first of the Daniel Boulud restaurants. So that's an exclusive to the Beyond. But on the other Edge class ships, they have the Fine Cuts Steakhouse, the French Casual Bistro, the animated La Petite Chef. You saw a little bit of that. It's a fun experience. And the animation makes the food on your plate, and then the waiters come out and put the dish that the animated chef made right on your plate, and you have an exact replica of what was made. So lots of different venues here for specialty dining. There is an upcharge for that, but usually if you have a nice amount of onboard credit, depending on what the specials are that you're booking, you can use that to pay for it. The suite class. So if you are in the Sky Suite or above, you have your own exclusive dining room, Lumine, with a special menu designed by Daniel Boulud. If you are in the Aqua class, this is where they're going to have the healthier lifestyle focused food, and that is in the restaurant Blue. So again, it's breakfast and dinner every day in Blue if you're in the Aqua class. In addition, on the Edge class, they have several other complimentary dining venues. We think the burgers on Celebrity are some of the best that they have at sea. We also love dining in the ocean view. As a matter of fact, on our last cruise, our schedule was kind of hectic, and we dined in the Ocean View Cafe most of the evenings. My next slide is going to take us to the entertainment on Celebrity. So my husband and I started cruising Celebrity 20 years ago. And their shows were kind of old-fashioned, typical shows. They have upped the bar so much on their entertainment. Wait till you see this video and you see the kind of entertainment they have on Celebrity now.
One of the highlights of cruising with Celebrity is the non-stop slate of entertainment available on board for all ages. Whether you're 7 or 70, we guarantee you'll never get bored during your time at sea. Join us as we walk you through all of the magic waiting for you on a Celebrity cruise. First up, the theater, where visionary performances and riveting shows dazzle audiences night after night. All of our shows feature innovative design, seamless technology, and electric performances that will make you want to return for more. Our roster of talented performers hail from all over the world. They are passionate about their work and bring their best to the stage with every performance. On Celebrity Apex, the theater itself is a showstopper. This cutting-edge space features 4 stage areas, 8 moving backdrops, and a translucent 360-degree circular scrim, taking our performances to a whole new level. With our 23 production shows throughout our fleet, there's a wealth of musical genres, dance styles, and spectacular visuals to take in. Enjoy live, high-energy concerts where our performers defy gravity with extraordinary acrobatics. These uplifting musicals feature breathtaking choreography and hit songs from the past several decades that are sure to be a highlight of your vacation. It's the perfect activity for a couple's date night or an evening of family fun. Outside of the theater, many of our bars and lounges also showcase live music performed by our celebrated musicians. Our Sunset Bar is the perfect place to end the day with a front row view of the sun setting in the distance and a backdrop of pop and folk tunes. Ensemble Lounge, Rendezvous Lounge, and the Sky Observation Lounge are ideal venues to cap off your evening with a cocktail and dance the night away. Grab a martini in the Grand Plaza and experience a spectacular display of lights during our chandelier show. For a truly memorable night on board, head to the pool deck or rooftop garden to enjoy live music from a band or DJ, pop-up performances, and the backdrop of the stars above. On our Solstice Series ships, the Long Club is one of a kind. Celebrity is the only cruise line with an outdoor escape that features a half-acre of real grass. This top-deck venue is the perfect place for an afternoon picnic or a friendly game of bocce or croquet. If you just want to relax, you can also sit on a comfortable lounge chair and watch a movie at night under the stars, or listen to live jazz concerts while enjoying the unbeatable view. On Celebrity Solstice, Equinox, and Eclipse, the Long Club also features a Hollywood hot glass class where you'll learn how to create your own brilliant artwork and functional tableware. If you're into competitive games, we also have a slate of fun activities to explore. Grab a bow and arrow and practice your archery skills with cutting-edge technology that makes this activity fun and safe for all ages. Or sign up for Lost in Time, our group escape room experience, where you'll race against the clock in a nerve-wracking challenge. You can also participate in fun activities like our Deal or No Deal game show, dance classes, and silent dance parties. Spend a fun evening with the family at Le Petit Chef, an interactive dining experience where you'll follow a 3D projection of a miniature French chef as he prepares and plates your meal right on your table. On Celebrity Cruises, there's fun for every member of the family. At Camp at Sea, kids will spend their days having fun with our talented team of youth staff. Our schedule of activities adapts to the specific interests of our junior cruisers, who can choose from more than 500 activities that are divided into 4 categories: art, recreation, culinary, and STEM. During their time at sea, kids can learn how to build a compass, participate in Xbox tournaments, and engage in dozens of arts and crafts. At the Teens Club, teen cruisers from 13 to 17 can hang out with kids their age, go head-to-head in an Xbox tournament, attend silent dance parties, and even fine-tune their DJ skills in a workshop with one of our onboard DJs. Sail beyond your borders and expand your mind in our Enrichment series. You'll hear fascinating talks by expert speakers that have worked in a variety of fields, or attend lectures to learn more about the history and culture of the countries on your itinerary. Whether you're traveling alone, with your loved one, or with the entire brood, you'll find endless activities designed to enhance your vacation. Let your passions lead the way and discover a world of fun and excitement on board. To book an unforgettable cruise, visit Celebrity.com, talk to your travel agent, or
Talk to your
call
travel
us at
agent.
1-800-CELEBRITY. View our cruise itineraries and shore excursions in the links below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more travel guides and inspiration.
So you can see that Celebrity welcomes people of all ages. They have activities for all ages. And I want to say something, they do feature the kids programs on that video. There's usually not a whole lot of kids on Celebrity, and they're usually in the kids program. So that's one of the things that when we had young kids, our kids are young adults now, but when we had young kids, we loved cruising with Celebrity because they got so much personalized attention in the kids program. And then there were a lot of things that my husband and I enjoyed that we would enjoy with the kids, like going to the shows or listening to music at night. So we, all in all, we just think that Celebrity is a great cruise line. So let's talk about the 3 classes of ship that are going to be in Europe next summer. So the Beyond is a brand new one that we just saw in that preview video. There's the Apex and the Edge are also going to be in the European theater next year. Then they'll have 2 Solstice class ships. These are about 2,700 passengers. This is the class of ship that I probably cruise the most with Celebrity. And they'll be doing some different itineraries while they're in Europe next summer. And just to give you some highlights, because we saw a little bit of some of the Solstice class ships with the Lawn Club and that video and that kind of thing. But some of my favorite things are the large atrium with the floating tree, the generously sized rooms. They're not quite as big as the one on the Edge class ships, but very generously sized rooms. Lovely main dining room that's themed around champagne. You can see the bubbles in the ceiling here, the champagne flute in the wine cellar. And of course, the martini bar is always fun, especially when they do what I call the big pour, where they're pouring, 15, 20, 30 drinks at a time sometimes. And then they have 2 outdoor pools and 1 indoor pool on the Edge class, the Solstice class ships. Finally, we get to the Millennium class. These are a little bit older ships. But they're more intimate, which is kind of nice. We just cruised on the Constellation, and I love the fact that it wasn't very far to go to get from one part of the ship to the other. That made getting anywhere very easy. They're going to be doing some alternate sailings during the summer of 22 and even summer of 23 and even some into the winter of 24 in Europe. Highlights of the Infinity and Constellation ships. They have these floor to ceiling glass elevators that allow natural light into that center part of the ship, it really makes it feel airy and open. They have the 2-story windows in the main dining room. And of course, the 2 pools outside and the singular pool inside. And the observation lounge is another one of my favorite places to hang out on that class ship. So now that we know why you would want to go to Europe on Celebrity with so many choices, there's something for everyone. But let's look at where Celebrity is going in Europe. And we have 3 featured itineraries, which we're paying particular attention to. So the first one is this 12-night Spain, France, and Italy. Now note that it starts in Barcelona and ends in Rome. And the great thing about that is that you could come into Barcelona a couple days early. I can help you customize a package so you can see the highlights of Barcelona. You take your cruise, you get off the cruise in Rome, and then spend 2 or 3 nights in Rome post-cruise. So you really get that full experience. And look at all the wonderful places you visit in between. We'll go into a little more details. Highlights of Barcelona. Absolutely, if you go to Barcelona, you must go and take a full tour of the Sagrada Familia. They have elevators that go up, stairs that go all around. You can see the parts that are under construction and the parts that are completed. It is one of the most amazing cathedrals that I have ever been in the world. And it's not even complete. I think it's not going to be complete for another 20 or 30 years. The Casa Batlló was also designed by Antonio Gaudi, and Saint George, who was the legendary slayer of the dragon, is the patron saint of Barcelona. And this church, this home, this was actually built as a private home. It was designed to look like a dragon, and it has the sword that has slayed the dragon in the building. And of course, Las Ramblas, which is a wonderful pedestrian street, and I have a couple pictures from that in a little bit. This is a picture of a street performer dressed up as a human statue. That's my daughter, Savannah. Savannah's now 25. That's an old picture of her, but is when we were in Barcelona. And then, of course, this is my own picture of the Sagrada Familia. When the Moors moved out of Spain, the Spanish really embraced their ham because they could have their ham again. And so you can buy some really, really wonderful ham in Spain. And then, of course, Barcelona is also known for its seafood as well. A couple more highlights of the Western Mediterranean. You'll visit Palma de Mallorca, Marseille, France, Via France. From Via France, you can actually either take a tour that will go to Nice, or you can take a tour that will go to Monaco. So just depending on what your interests are, they have other options as well. But those are kind of two big names that stand out to me when thinking about. Via France itself is actually very lovely. If you don't want to take a long tour, just get off the ship and walk around the quaint little town. It's very nice. Next, this cruise goes to La Spezia. And from La Spezia, this is going to be your gateway to Pisa, Florence, and Tuscany. And Celebrity offers food tours in these areas, wine tours. There's some people who think, well, I don't know if I want to do a cruise because I might not experience the food of Europe. With Celebrity having wonderful food tours, and with you even just having the ability to get off the ship, walk around, find a little cafe in every town and have a wonderful lunch. Lunch is one of the most affordable meals of the day. Enjoy, really, really get a sense of that town in Europe. Again, there's that highlight. Okay, so a couple other highlights there. It's going to be that you can visit Messina, Sicily. The Blue Grotto is there. There are some ancient Greek and Roman ruins there. So this is from, and then when you go to Naples, you have the ability to go to Sorrento. You can tour Naples, or you can even visit Pompeii and Herculaneum, which is where these folks are here. Or take a drive down the Amalfi Coast. Then this cruise ends in Rome. I can't go on about how much I love the food in Rome. My favorite thing is frutti di mare, which is the mixed seafood with the pasta. But my husband doesn't like seafood, so in the next slide we'll have his favorite dish. But you can tour the Colosseum. There's so many layers of history in Rome, and that's why it's called the Eternal City, because you've got like these Renaissance buildings like the Trevi Fountain, and then or Rococo buildings like the Trevi Fountain, this rich history of food, and then the Colosseum, which goes all the way back to the Roman times. And of course, the Holy See is in Rome. So if you want to visit St. Peter's Cathedral, visit the Forum Romano, have some spaghetti carbonara. That is my husband's favorite dish. If you love bacon and Parmesan, you're going to be a happy camper with your spaghetti carbonara. This is Piazza Popolo. I would say if you're in Rome and you just want to kind of experience real Rome, do a walking tour and visit all of the piazzas in Rome and just take in the architecture, find a lovely little cafe. It's a great way to experience Rome. I have spent several weeks in Rome and several days in Barcelona, a couple times visiting Barcelona. So if you need help planning what to do and where to go, I'm a great resource for you for those two particular ports that bookend this particular itinerary. So moving to our next itinerary, this is a 12-night Italy, Turkey, and Greek islands, and it is round trip from Rome. So again, you can do a pre-cruise stay in Rome. You could do a post-cruise stay, maybe not just in Rome, but maybe you go to Florence for 3 or 4 days. So some wonderful opportunities to expand your time in Italy. One of my favorite places to visit is Italy. The food is so good there. But you visit all these wonderful places in Greece, and you will have a chance with an overnight stay in Istanbul, a real good chance to experience some Turkish hospitality. And then you can visit ancient Ephesus from the port of Kusadasi, Turkey, Athens from the port of Piraeus, and then again, Naples, which Naples is that gateway to Herculaneum, Pompeii, Amalfi Coast, Sorrento. And that cruises on the Beyond. This is the picture that I took when we were in Mykonos of the Celebrity Beyond as we were driving by in our tender boat. I'll tell you about the power of travel to really open up your mind when we get a little bit more to my pictures from Kusadasi. I wasn't sure what to expect with Turkey. I didn't think I wanted to visit Turkey. Well, we got there around sunset, and this is the picture of the park on the waterfront, and there were families out there playing. I'll tell more about it when I get to the Kusadasi slide, but just it was really eye-opening to see how much I liked Turkey and how surprised I was by Turkey. Of course, we visited ancient Ephesus. The waters in Greece are so blue, and this is Mykonos, and there's our ship, the Constellation, and right next door to it is the Beyond. So a couple of other highlights that you're going to visit on this cruise, the beautiful island of Santorini, where if you have the energy to do it, you're going to want to hike up and get this iconic picture from the Blue Dome. Mykonos is not quite as hilly as Santorini, and it's known for its windmills that you see right here. And this is actually my own picture that I took in May. Then you have that overnight stay in Istanbul. So some of the highlights in Istanbul are the Blue Mosque, which is the larger of the mosques. And then there's the Hagia Sophia, which was originally a church, and then it was taken over and turned into a mosque. And then it was turned into a museum. Well, in 2020, the politics shifted in Turkey a little bit. So now it's back to being a mosque, but you can still go visit it and see all the wonderful Muslim artwork that's there. Or maybe you'll take a trip out to Cappadocia, where you're going to see those fairy chimneys and you can take a balloon ride or watch the balloon rides if you're not that brave. With that overnight stay, you can take advantage of one of the most popular activities in Turkey, in Istanbul, is to do a Bosphorus Strait dinner cruise. You'll get to see the town all lit up, and you'll also get some Turkish culture with whirling dervish performances and belly dancer performances, and of course that great Turkish food and hospitality. So Kusadasi, again, my visit there this May really changed my mind. If you look down here, this is what the city looks like. It was a lovely resort town. We actually walked down here to one of these restaurants, had this amazing dinner with, I don't know, 5 or 6 courses. We went with 2 other ladies that were on our cruise that were also CruiseOne franchise owners, had 3 bottles of wine. They brought this whole plate of fruit out at the end of our dinner. I mean, it was an amazing experience, and we couldn't believe how gracious and lovely the whole restaurant experience was there. And then the next day we took our tour to ancient Ephesus. And this city was lost for 1,500 years because the river silted up and the city went into ruins. And it wasn't until archaeologists in the late 1800s started poking around there that they found the remains of the city. And it's still being excavated today. Athens, the iconic thing to do in Athens is, of course, go visit the Acropolis. We did that. It's quite a hike up. I think Cheryl, who's on this presentation, visited the Acropolis in her Greek tour that she took earlier this summer. And then, of course, the cruise ends up back in Rome. And again, I can't emphasize enough, extend your stay in Rome, spend at least 3 or 4 days there. You will never run out of things to see in a 3 or 4 day trip. My first trip to Rome was 10 days, and I did a different thing every day. It was absolutely amazing. So it truly is the eternal city. Now, our final itinerary that we're featuring is on the Celebrity Apex. This one is a Baltic cruise, and I want to point out one thing. It does include on this itinerary and the published itinerary, St. Petersburg, Russia. They have not been going to Russia in 2022. And if things continue the way they are with the Russia-Ukraine situation, I expect that they won't go to Russia in 2023. But never fear, they will replace that St. Petersburg port with something equally as special, and it will be equally as wonderful a cruise. This cruise starts in Amsterdam, which is known as the Venice of the North because of the canal system there. So many things to do. Again, I would suggest we plan a 2 or 3 day pre-cruise stay there for you. The Anne Frank Museum is there, the Vincent van Gogh Museum, the Rijksmuseum, which features the works of the Dutch masters. Lots of stuff to do there. Some highlights of the Baltic. It does visit one of the ports that's near Berlin. So you can take a full day tour into Berlin, Germany, and see all the amazing things that they have there. I love Tallinn, Estonia, because of the beautiful buildings. And look at that wonderful church with the onion domes on each of the columns there. The architecture is that Eastern European style architecture there. In Copenhagen, of course, Hans Christian Andersen wrote the story The Little Mermaid. She was around Copenhagen, so they have this wonderful little statue of her. We actually have a painting in our house that is based on this waterfront scene in Copenhagen. And then wonderful history and architecture there as well. Amsterdam, again, enhance your stay with a couple nights pre or post in Amsterdam. Wonderful city to visit. I want to emphasize how many different options that Celebrity has in addition to these featured itineraries. Norwegian fjords, we did this in May.
Sorry, Suzanne. So
Okay, go
that's
ahead.
something we didn't mention was, looking free feature itineraries that we've taken out special groups on. So we got some pretty advanced pricing, some pretty low rates on them. So that's why they're featured groups. They have some pretty amazing prices, and we put together some amenities for them. So that's why they're featured groups.
Correct. And any of those ones that you would be booking by, let's see, in May. We'll get to it in a second, but by the end of the month, there's some additional savings to be had on those. So Norwegian fjords is one option that you have in Northern Europe. This is a picture from our cruise this May. Another picture from our cruise, but this is what I want to show you. If I don't have my own individual affinity group on a sailing at CruiseOne, because we are a national account, we have two things that will always get you a price advantage. One is block space. That is where we have headquarters that has group space. And the other thing we have is our national account discount. And that national account discount is usually $100 to $120 off the rate that you would pay directly with Celebrity. So I don't know why you'd ever book directly with Celebrity when you get better pricing through us. But any of those ones you see with that B, we have headquarters block space. Just some samplings of some Western European cruises. These are pictures of Iceland and Ireland that I took in 2019. They have lots of choices there. Sample, and you're going to get a PDF that's going to list all the itineraries, so don't worry about that. I just wanted to show how many different options you had through Celebrity for Europe. And into the fall and the winter, they've got more Mediterranean cruises. Now, if you want to visit some of those James Bond filming locations, here's a couple that visit some of those places, including Istanbul and Amsterdam, and even the pyramids of Giza, which we know is in Africa. It's not in Europe, but the cruise departs from Europe, so they put it in their Europe itineraries. There's also Egypt and the Holy Land available through Celebrity. Pictures from our cruises from Venice. And I want to emphasize how easy it is with Celebrity to get from Venice to Ravenna, where you board the cruise ship. They have a very good transfer program. It's easy to find the place where you're going to meet the bus. You get on the bus, they take you down to Ravenna. If you've already been to Venice and you don't want to spend a couple days pre or post cruise in Venice, you can fly into Bologna instead and maybe spend a couple days in Ravenna. And one of the things about Ravenna that's completely unique is it was part of the Byzantine Empire. So it has a rich history of mosaics in their building. So you can tour many, many different historic buildings that have these lovely mosaics. If you are into Game of Thrones, Iceland, Ireland, Croatia, and Malta are all Game of Thrones filming locations. And there's some of the itineraries that include some of those places. These are pictures again from our 2019 Iceland and Ireland. I'm actually recreating the moment when Arya Stark came up out of the canal. Very silly me. So ways to book Celebrity, and we can save you money no matter how you book it. So they have always included rates. Those always included are going to include your drinks, and that includes alcoholic drinks up to $9 a serving, unlimited servings, and non-alcoholic drinks, so especially coffees, bottled water, sodas, all those things are included in that standard drink package. You get a surf Wi-Fi package if you need to keep up with your email and things like that. And then it always includes your gratuity. So you do not owe any money to the hotel and dining staff at the end of your cruise. That is the always included rate. I think they're actually going to change that now to all included rates because they are now starting to offer no perks rates. So the no perks rates, they don't include your drinks, your gratuities, or Wi-Fi. For some people, that's just how they prefer to cruise, just because of their lifestyle or the way they choose to do their cruising. If you want to book with either one of those rates and you need me to do a comparison, I will do that and we can compare them. Both of those options are available to just confuse things even more, with a non-refundable deposit discount, or you can choose the more flexible refundable deposit rates. So with the non-refundable deposit, You pay $500 or $900 per cabin, not per person, to put your deposit down. And then if you have to change or cancel your cruise, they're going to charge you $100 per person to make that change. And the rest of the $700 rolls into a future cruise credit. If you book with a flexible deposit rate and you cancel 90 days before your cruise, you get a refund. So again, that's something that I can quote it for you. Either way, we can choose the way you want to book it that best fits your budget and your lifestyle. Group rates. If we have a group rate, they are always included rates. And sometimes my group rates will be lower than the no perks rates. And the group rates always have a refundable deposit. So that's another big advantage to us having groups. So again, I can quote it for you 3 or 4 different ways. We can choose the best way for you to book it. We have other sailings. Just to let you know, we've got a 14-night cruise to Antarctica out of Buenos Aires in January of this year. We are doing 2 sailings back to back on the Celebrity Beyond. So if you want to cruise that ship but don't want to go all the way to Europe, you can cruise with us in March of 2023. We've also got a wonderful savings on an Ultimate Caribbean cruise. And then in October of 2023, we have a close to home Mexican Riviera cruise, 8-night out of Los Angeles. We also do river cruises, and we've got one that's going this October, visiting Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania with Transylvania. And then in 2023, we've got Burgundy and Provence, and we're hosting that one with the Paso Robles Winery. So we will be escorting both of these cruises. And then if you are into the exotic, of course, Alaska, we've got Explorers cruises on multiple lines there. If you want to go to the Arctic Circle, we have got an Arctic Circle and Polar Ice Cap cruise with Holland America. It's 21 nights. We'll be escorting that. We've also got a round trip Iceland and Greenland and Canada cruise from Boston in 2023. And then if you really, really want to go exotic, we have a cruise that's cruising the Greenland and Canadian Arctic on the wonderful luxury Silver Sea expedition ship. So our special offers, I want to emphasize the special offers that we have. So if you book 2022 or 2023 Europe, you're going to get the guaranteed best pricing and availability from us. We have a $100 per cabin onboard credit that is in addition to whatever Celebrity's best offer is. We're adding $100 to that just as a thank you for you attending our Zoom event if you book before July 31st. There's also a special 30%, and I'm going to say up to 30% off savings program. It's a little tricky how they do it, but you will definitely get a better price with that 30% off booking into one of our groups than what you would get going direct with Celebrity. We also have our national account savings, and that combines with our group savings. It's usually about $120 off per person by booking. So look at the value there. We've already added $100. You're getting $120 savings per voyage where that's offered. You've already saved $220 per person by booking with us. Celebrity also has some local luxury, which is kind of their last minute state resident rate. It's open really to all American people, just about, and that can offer you some additional savings with a little bit of a different program. We also have a refer a friend. This is again another way this stacks on top. If you book with us and you refer a friend who hasn't booked with us in, I think we're doing 3 years right now, if they haven't made a booking with Celebrity through our CruiseOne franchise, then you get an extra $100 onboard credit for yourself, and your friend that you referred to us gets that extra $100 onboard credit. So lots of ways that we can save you money. It would really be tremendously exciting for me to work with you and help you plan one of these wonderful voyages, and not only that, but save you some money as well. I'm going to go to our very next slide. This is Greta. She is from Iceland, and she is one of my favorite touring performers that contracts with Celebrity. She plays with the Reykjavik Symphony Orchestra. She's a concert violinist, but she's also a singer. And in 2019, might be 18, she represented Iceland in the Eurovision Song Contest. Of course, in 2020, Will Ferrell made this comedy movie about the Eurovision Song Contest called Eurovision Story of Fire Song. Well, the song from that movie is a beautiful song, and it was actually nominated for an Academy Award. And this is kind of my last thing. I'm going to leave you with Greta singing that song and the beautiful scenery of Iceland that she included in her presentation.
All I needed was to get away, just to realize that I was meant to stay. When the mountains sing to the streams of seagulls, when the winds can't leave, there's a gentle people in my hometown, my hometown. But
I love Greta. She is one of my favorite entertainers that I've seen on Celebrity. So again, I'm Suzanne Clausen. I would love to be your travel advisor. I would love to help you plan your next fabulous vacation to Europe or anywhere in the world. And I would love it if you would entrust me with that. Thank you so much for attending. I didn't have a lot of questions during the presentation, so I'm going to stop the screen share. And then I'm going to invite you, if you have any questions whatsoever, to ask away.
Remember, you might be muted.
Yeah, remember to hold down your space bar or turn yourself off mute. Yes. Steve, can you unmute Cheryl, or she needs to do
No.
it herself?
There you go.
Suzanne, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I had my my microphone muted. I do have a question about the first cruise that starts in Barcelona. And my question is the La Sagrada Familia Cathedral.
Yes.
Is that part of the cruise, or would I have to go in a day early to Barcelona and book that myself?
So I would help you book it with a tour company. So but you would have to come in early for the cruise, because the cruise ship is just an embarkation day. They don't do like an overnight pre-cruise. So if you want to see the Sagrada Familia, we need you to come in a couple days early. We'll plan out a full itinerary for what you would do in Barcelona, find you a good hotel, find you tours, everything. I would help you customize that part of the cruise.
Okay, so that would be a couple of days in addition to the cruise.
Correct. In addition
There's
to.
plenty to do there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we spent 3 days there before our transatlantic, and I was like, oh, we could stay here another week. So,
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
all right, thanks.
Well, hi,
Cheryl.
Cheryl. Yeah, Barcelona is fascinating. You do want to do that. Okay.
So
I-
did
yes.
Celebrity Cruise Lines offer any kind of discounted airfare travel?
Yes, they do. Now you need to be inside of 330 days, which for these May itineraries we are. They have a wonderful air program, and it is super flexible. You can put the air on hold now. You pay for it with final payment, and you have complete flexibility to choose your routing and the price point that goes along with that routing. And they are offering some wonderful discounts on air right now. So if you book one of those May itineraries, we're going to want to get your air held right away. And again, if you're booking with a refundable deposit, you're not locked into anything until 90 days before your departure. So again, Celebrity lets you choose your routing. So if you want to say, okay, I only want to do most of the destinations in Europe from most places in the US, you're going to have to do one stop. But like say if it's Southampton cruise and you live in a major city like Phoenix, you can take a nonstop to London, pre-cruise. Dallas, I think, has some nonstops to Barcelona. So it just depending on, how you want to get there. But yes, Celebrity is actually running a discount program right now on the air. And when I go in to price it, it actually has a line through the regular price and then an updated price below.
And are there all
All right.
kinds of levels of activities, like for the excursions? And can I look at that on celebrity.com?
Yes. So in every port, they have easy, they have accessible, they have moderate, and they have strenuous excursions. So depending on what you want to do, you can pick the type of excursion. If it's a walking tour and it's a city that's hilly, it's going to be strenuous, right? But they will have in a similar town, they'll have a panoramic for people who maybe have funky knees, or they can't walk long distances, where they're mostly on a bus and they stop at a couple scenic overlooks. So a little bit of everything at all levels of excursions. And then I also represent Shore Excursion Group and Viator. So if you don't find what you're looking for through Celebrity, I can do shore excursions with either one of those companies for you. And those are vetted, and it's not like you're just picking out a shore excursion company out of the blue. They're vetted shore excursion companies.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? So did
What's the-
anybody see, oh, go ahead, Charmin.
What's the staff ratio to, like on the Beyond, Celebrity Beyond? What's the staff ratio to the passengers?
It is almost one staff member for every 2 guests.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good in the
Yeah.
industry. If you're going to go to like 1-to-1, you're going to need to go to a luxury cruise line like Silver Sea or Seabourn, where they're going to have more than that 1-to-1. But 2-to-1, I mean, Steve and I have cruised how many times with Celebrity? 4 times with Celebrity since December,
Oh.
4 times with Celebrity. And we were so impressed. It was just easy breezy, wonderful service on Celebrity. It's not only the ratio, but also the training, because they're trained to be intuitive. The way that they're trained to resolve problems is that they never tell you no. They say, let me see what I can do. And then they go work on it. And then when they get back to you, they're like, okay, we've got this. Will that work for you? So I think, have you cruised with Celebrity before, Charmin?
No, we've been on Princess and Norwegian and Windstar, but we haven't done Celebrity.
So Celebrity will definitely be a step up from both Princess and Norwegian, and a big step up from Norwegian. Big step up from Norwegian. Yeah. All right. Any other questions that you guys might have? Did anybody see an itinerary that caught their eye? Something they always wanted to do? I know, I think Dennis, you said you wanted to go to Greece. He's on mute. You're on mute. We can't see you, Dennis. And Cheryl, you were in Greece this year on a land tour. What was your favorite thing? That's fine.